So, what is happening right now in the local Portland real estate market? Let's talk about it. Are we looking at a market slowdown, stalemate, or an actual decline in the market right now? I think it's going to be a little bit hard to say, especially in the first quarter of 2019, because there's just a lot going on. Right now, we're looking at global trade issues. We are looking at a shutdown in the government, as well as just horrible stock market volatility. So you combine those three factors, and there's just a lot of uncertainty in the market right now. And I think that home buyers especially are feeling that. Home sellers, if you have to sell, you have to sell. I see a lot of homes starting to come on the market, as well as more conversations than we've had over the past 30 to 60 days. So you're going to see more inventory hit the market, as well as more buyers come into the market, although there's just a lot of trepidation on buyers' part, and it's yet to be seen. So the first 3 months of the year in the Portland market are going to be super interesting. Couple things. Number one is last year we saw 5.6% appreciation in home prices in Portland, especially in the first half of last year. The Portland real estate market was one of the fastest growing real estate markets in the United States in the first half of the year. Experts that I'm hearing are talking about Portland actually being one of the slowest appreciating markets in the first half of 2019. So what does that mean for home buyers and home sellers? Especially home sellers, they still have this notion that that their home is worth, probably, just to be completely honest with you, more than it actually is. Home prices were appreciating at 7, 8, 9%, and in some pockets even more. And so there's this feeling in sellers' minds that they can still get, X dollar, whatever that dollar is. And the numbers and the reality and the overall sentiment in the market is typically showing something otherwise. Not always, but that's what we're seeing. And there's just a lot of uncertainty. So the first 3 months are going to be very tricky. What else? There's a gap. I see a gap between buyers and sellers. Now, price is one factor, and we just talked about that, but we're also talking about concessions. So concessions, once you have a home buyer that's written an offer, that you have an accepted offer on the sale of the home, so everybody's come to an agreement, you go through the inspection process, and getting the buyer and the seller to agree during that process is I believe going to be more difficult in 2019. And the reason is just that gap. It's the uncertainty. Buyers are going to be very cautious, first of all, coming into the market because of interest rates. We'll talk about that in a minute. But they're going to be very cautious coming into the market because of interest rates. And when they finally make that decision, they're going to be in the market, and they're still going to be second guessing themselves. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, is this really the right time? We're still unsure, although let's dip our toe in the water and let's see what happens. So they're going to dip their toe in the water. They're going to write an offer, and then they're going to get to that negotiating period in the contract, and they're going to freak out. They're going to find every reason under the sun why they should not move forward with that purchase. And if the seller gives them any reasons at all, they gone. And that is going to be a reality. I started to see that last year, and I believe that in 2019, we are going to see even more of that. So sellers, talking to you specifically right now, you need to get your mindset in the right place. If you want to sell your home, you're going to have to price it appropriately. That is the key in real estate. First and foremost, price your home appropriately. Take the data that is out there and use that to price your home appropriately. Take the advice of your real estate agent. Hopefully your agent has a good amount of experience. They have a track record of success, and you can lean on that success as you price your home. So first and foremost, price your home properly. Second is get ready during that negotiation period, during the inspection, and possibly during the appraisal as well. I think that we could see some appraisals start to come in a little bit low. at least more so in the past. I don't think it's going to be a widespread issue, but occasionally it does happen, and I think it could happen a little bit more in 19. So get ready during that inspection period that you're going to have to give a little bit more than you might want to, or that you might have had to if you sold your home in the past 5 years. Because people typically sell their home every 5 to 7 years, right? So the last time that sellers sold their home, they were in an upward trend. They were in a really strong position, and it was just easier to sell a home as a seller, and they just had a very strong position during any of the negotiation periods. So sellers, number one is price your home appropriately, and number two is get your mindset in the right place that you're going to have to probably give a little bit more than what you want if you need to sell your home. If you don't need to sell your home, then by all means just stay put. It is still a good time to sell a home, though. One factor that sellers do have on their sides is inventory. Inventory is at about 2.8%. We're probably going to see that stay somewhat the same. Those are the highest rates that we've seen in years, and it's still well below a healthy, normal market. So inventory is still down. Okay, one last thing. Let's wrap this up with interest rates. What are interest rates going to do in 2019? 2019, right now we're over 5%, and they've actually been they were higher, and they've been going down over the past 3 to 4 weeks. So in 2019, we're probably going to see interest rates stay about 5 to 6%. Now that's a pretty wide gap. And in all reality, it's probably going to hover between 5 to 5.5%. Could it go higher at some point in the year? Absolutely. It is a reality of where we're at right now. One big factor in my confidence level of staying between 5 to 5.5 is the Fed has really softened their position on the prime rate. And because of that, I believe that we're going to see more stability in interest rates, and we're just not going to see this dramatic increase over 2019. Will we see an increase? I believe so. But it's not going to be dramatic. So long-term interest rates, that historical average is probably about 7.5%, somewhere right around there. And right now they're at 5. So I know people's mindset is that, oh my gosh, interest rates are over 5%, and oh, they're pulling their hair out and they're freaking out. Come on, people. This is still a really, really good interest rate. Is your purchasing power down a little bit because of the higher interest rate? Yes, you should have bought, a couple of years ago. The reality is, it is what it is. It's still a healthy interest rate for buyers, and I don't think it's going to slow down our market too much. So I hope that you found this information helpful. We will continue to bring value to you and give you the information that you need to make an educated decision on your next move. If we can be a resource, and you have any specific questions, you want to dive a little bit deeper or find out the ultimate value of your home today and see if you're in a position to make a move one way or another, please reach out to us. Again, I hope you found this information valuable. I hope that you have a fabulous day, and until next time, cheers, friends.